You're 17, standing outside a pachinko parlor in Kabukicho at 2 in the morning. A man in a suit with slicked hair and missing half his pinky finger asks if you need work. You say yes because rent is due and your construction job pays nothing. He hands you a business card with a name you can't read and an address in Shinjuku. Show up tomorrow at noon. Wear black. You think this is about pachinko machines. It's not about pachinko machines. You arrive at a 4-story building with no sign. 7th floor. A room with tatami mats and cigarette smoke thick enough to taste. 15 men sit in rows. Nobody smiles. An older man, maybe 50, with a scar running from his ear to his collar, explains the structure. You're about to become an apprentice in an organization that's existed for 400 years. It has rules. Break them and you'll wish the police had found you first. The Yakuza isn't a gang. It's a corporation with ceremonial roots and a command structure more rigid than the military. You start at the bottom, and the bottom is lower than you imagined. Your first job is standing outside a building for 9 hours. That's it. Stand there. Watch. If anyone approaches who looks wrong, you text a number. You're not told what wrong means. You figure it out. Nervous eyes, hands in pockets, walking past twice, a woman with a camera. You text, someone comes out and the person leaves. You did your job, you're not paid, not yet. You're given a weekly allowance, 30,000 yen, barely enough for a shoebox apartment and convenience store meals. You share that apartment with 2 other apprentices. One is 19, recruited from Osaka after his father died in debt. The other is 24, former hostess club bouncer who got tired of being poor. None of you talk about why you're really here. You already know. Legitimate society didn't want you. This one does. 3 months in, you're taught how to bow. Sounds simple. It's not. 45-degree angle for senior members. 90 degrees for the boss. Eyes down. Back straight. Hands flat against your thighs. You practice for 2 hours until your back cramps. An older member watches and corrects your posture with a bamboo stick. Not hard enough to injure, hard enough to remember. You learn the hierarchy by observing. At the bottom, apprentices like you. Above that, regular soldiers, the ones who've proven themselves. Then the senior soldiers who run street operations. Then lieutenants who manage entire districts. Then the underboss. Then the oyabun, the father figure, the man whose word is law. You've never seen him. You've only heard his name spoken in the same tone people use in churches. Your 4th month, you're given a real task. A bar owner in Roppongi is 3 months behind on protection payments. You go with 2 soldiers, you don't speak, you stand behind them while they sit across from the owner, a man in his 50s with shaking hands. The conversation is polite, almost friendly. They ask about his family, his daughter's university, his wife's health. Then they mention how unfortunate it would be if something happened to the bar. A fire, an accident. These things happen in old buildings. The owner pays. You leave. On the train back, one of the soldiers buys you a coffee. Says you did good. You stood still and kept your mouth shut. That's all that was required. You're learning the real product isn't violence. It's the threat of violence, maintained through reputation and consistency. Actual blood is expensive and draws attention. Fear is cheap and effective. You meet others in your position. There are hundreds of apprentices across Tokyo, all doing the same work, standing outside buildings, delivering packages you don't open, driving men to meetings you're not invited to. Some quit, most don't. Because where else is there to go? Back to construction? Back to part-time shifts at Family Mart? The Yakuza offers something the regular world doesn't. Structure, identity, a path forward that doesn't require a university degree or a family connection. 6 months in, you're asked to attend a ceremony. Another apprentice is being formally inducted as a soldier. You kneel in the back of a room while sake is poured and oaths are recited. The oyabun appears for the first time. He's smaller than you expected. 70, maybe older. He moves slowly, deliberately. His presence makes the room feel smaller. He speaks for 3 minutes. You don't remember the words. You remember the silence after he finishes. How nobody moves until he leaves. That night, you're told you're ready. Next month, if you continue performing, you'll take the same oath. You'll become a full member. Your apprenticeship will end. You'll receive a real salary, a title, responsibilities. You'll also receive something else, a permanent association with an organization that the government classifies as a criminal syndicate. Your name will go in a database. You'll never work a normal job again. Banks won't give you loans. Landlords won't rent to you. You'll be marked. You think about this for exactly one night. Then you stop thinking about it, because the decision was made the moment you walked into that building 6 months ago. Everything since has just been confirmation. You're 24 now, a soldier. That means you've taken the oath, accepted the sack cup, and received your first real assignment. You run a small crew of 3 apprentices who do what you did 2 years ago. Stand outside buildings, deliver packages, learn through observation. You report to a lieutenant who runs protection operations across 6 districts in Shibuya. Your job is collections, making sure the bars, clubs, and restaurants pay on time. Most do. The ones who don't get visits, you learn to read a room in seconds. Who's scared, who's posturing, who's actually dangerous. Most owners pay without issue. They built their businesses understanding this cost. It's factored in like rent or utilities. The ones who resist are usually new, haven't learned how things work yet. You educate them. A broken window, a delayed liquor delivery, small inconveniences that communicate the message. Escalation is rare because it's unnecessary. One night, a bar owner in Shinjuku refuses payment, says he's done, he's hired private security. 2 large men stand behind him when your crew arrives. You make a phone call. Your lieutenant arrives with 4 soldiers. The private security leaves, the owner pays double for the next 3 months. The lesson isn't about violence, it's about resources. The Yakuza can always bring more people, more pressure, more time. You can't outspend an organization that's existed for 400 years. Your personal life becomes invisible. You date a woman who works at a convenience store. She asks what you do. You say business management. She asks which company. You change the subject. 3 months in, she sees you outside a club with your crew. The way you carry yourself, the way others move aside. She stops returning calls. You don't blame her. Some soldiers marry women from Yakuza families, daughters of other members. It's cleaner that way. Fewer explanations required. You haven't met anyone like that yet. You're not sure you want to. You move to a better apartment. Nothing extravagant. 1 bedroom in a decent building. You furnish it with items that could belong to any salaryman. IKEA desk, small TV, a plant you forget to water. The only difference is the cash you keep in a floor safe. $60,000 at any given time. Emergency money. Emergency. The kind you can't deposit in a bank without questions. Your mother calls once a month. You send her money. She asks if you're eating well, if you're safe. You lie about both. She knows. Mothers always know. But she also knows her pension isn't enough, and the money you send means she doesn't choose between medicine and food. Complicity runs in both directions. A Chinese gang moves into Roppongi. They're selling methamphetamine in clubs your organization considers its territory. Your lieutenant decides this requires a response. You're part of the team sent to deliver it. 7 of you enter a hostess club at midnight. The Chinese dealers are in a back room. What happens next lasts 90 seconds. You don't throw a punch. You hold the door. But you're present, and presence makes you complicit. 1 dealer goes to the hospital. The others leave Tokyo. The club owner thanks your lieutenant for handling the problem. This is how territories are maintained. Not through contracts or negotiations, through demonstrated capability. The police know, everyone knows, but proving it in court requires witnesses, and witnesses in this world don't testify. You're 27 when your lieutenant gets promoted. You're offered his position. That means 12 soldiers under your command, responsibility for collections across 8 districts, and direct access to the family's wakagashira, the underboss. Your salary triples, so does your liability. You accept because refusing isn't really an option. Refusing signals doubt, and doubt is a virus in organizations built on loyalty. Your first week as lieutenant, a soldier under your command assaults a customer at a pachinko parlor, puts him in the hospital over a gambling dispute. The customer's family is connected to a rival organization. Your Wakagashira summons you, doesn't raise his voice, explains that your soldier created a problem that now requires diplomacy, compensation, and loss of face for the family. He asks what you intend to do about it. You demote the soldier. He's reassigned to debt collection, the lowest work. He accepts it without argument, because he understands the alternative is worse. This is leadership in the Yakuza. You don't manage people, you manage consequences. You start noticing the older members, men in their 50s and 60s, missing fingers from past mistakes. Bodies worn down from decades of stress. They live in small apartments, subsist on modest stipends. Some drive taxis to supplement income. The Yakuza doesn't have a pension system. When you're no longer useful, you're no longer funded. There's no retirement party, no gold watch. You simply become former. One of your soldiers asked about the future. He's 22, ambitious, smart, wants to know what the path looks like. You tell him the truth. If you're disciplined and lucky, you might make Wakagashira by 40. If you're extremely lucky, Oyabun by 50. But most soldiers never advance past soldier. They spend 30 years collecting debts and standing outside buildings until their knees give out. He asks if you regret it. You don't answer. Because the answer is complicated. You've built something here, status, income, brothers who'd go to prison before giving up your name. But you've also closed every other door. Your record is flagged. Your associations are documented. There's no pivot to a civilian career, a no reset button. At night, you sometimes stand on your apartment balcony and watch the city. Tokyo at 3 a.m. Millions of people sleeping in buildings that stretch to every horizon. Most of them wake up tomorrow and go to jobs where their biggest stress is a difficult client or a missed deadline. Their problems are solvable. Yours compound. You're 30 now, a lieutenant in an organization the government wants to eliminate. Anti-Yakuza laws tighten every year. Banks refuse service. Businesses ban members. The walls are closing slowly but inevitably. You pour a whiskey and watch the lights and think about the construction site. How simple it was. How tired you were. How none of that matters anymore because you chose a different kind of tired. The kind that doesn't wash off. You're standing in the same place you started, just with better clothes and worse options. The Yakuza promised structure when legitimate society offered nothing. It delivered. But structure isn't freedom, and belonging isn't peace. Somewhere in Kabukicho right now, a 17-year-old kid is being handed a business card. He thinks it's about work, it's about everything else.